time comes, will you have the courage to inspire success and define the moment?
No second chance for the losers. The winner takes it all. This could be the defining moment. Remember, it's all or nothing.
To face risks and take up the challenge.
It's hard. It's ruthless. Oh, it's gone down. Oh, nasty looking accident.
When there's no certainties, to still believe in yourself and your dream.
Can you believe what you're seeing here? Oh, such a amazing ride. Every rider is putting their neck on the line.
That time has come.
The pressure doesn't get any more intense.
A time to stand united.
It's the stuff that champions are made of.
A time to stand up and be counted.
But who will be the champions? That's the question. 15 heats to go and 47-49. Peterborough trailing by 2, but they are at home. It's the second leg of the grand final. Kelvin Tatum, what's going to be the key tonight in your mind? First of all for Reading.
Reading have got to get off to a big start. They need a heat advantage here in Heat 1. They've got gates 1 and 3. A very strong opportunity to do that with McGowan and Hancock. I think they need to keep it tight and keep pressure on the home side and just worry them.
And what about Peterborough? What's the key for them?
Panthers, they need Hans Anderson to do a little bit of damage limitation here. Hancock there, oh, that's drama right from the word go. That's not what the Bulldogs would want to be seeing. Him rushing back to the pits. Had drama in Heat 15, of course, last week. Drama right from the word go in Heat 1.
What's the likely problem?
I have no idea. I wasn't... they've obviously put that bike up on the stand, just readjusting the rear chain there. The mechanic working furiously there to make sure that's... that's quite incredible because there's been quite a long delay, and that's something he's just caught sight of something there right at the last moment.
And I said to you, you know, at the beginning of the evening that how Greg Hancock does could be so vital to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, you're dead right, but fortunately he is a vastly experienced man. He'll get himself out there. He's making his way out of the pits. A few deep breaths on the way round at the start, and this man will be focused on his job.
Well, he's just come back from the United States where he won his 7th national title. He is, of course, a former world champion with all the experience. Listen to that crowd as we head now for the start of this. 15 heats, 2 points the difference between the two teams, but there can only be one winner. Let's join our commentary team of Steve Johnson and Nigel Pearson.
Thanks so much indeed, Jonathan. Good evening, everyone. Here's the lineup for race number 1 of the second leg. Greg Hancock off the inside in green for Reading. Hans Anderson, gate 2 in red for Peterborough. Travis McGowan, gate 3 yellow for Reading. And Piotr Spiderski off the outside in blue for Peterborough. And if you're one of those people that don't agree with the playoffs, just look at this crowd tonight. This venue has seen many memorable meetings. There's Jim Lynch, the Reading team manager, former Peterborough boss, as we prepare for the start of heat number 1. Hans Anderson in the red helmet has made a good start for the Panthers. Spiderski, though, struggling at the back. This would be a share of the spoils if it stayed like this. As we turn into the third turn, but going down on that back straight, Piotr Spiderski has crashed, and Hans Anderson maintains the lead. And it looks like we're going to be okay for the race to continue, but this would just maintain Peterborough's narrow deficit at the moment, with Reading 2 points up.
Yes, track's looking really good in there, even all the way over, like I said there, and Hans made a blinder of a start, and even though Greg's riding very, very well there, he ain't going to catch Hans from here. The track early on at the moment, sort of see, they're not riding the really wide line at the moment yet. They don't have to because it's so even all the way through.
Well, Hans Anderson made a return here to Peterborough after riding for Ipswich in the Elite League, and it's been a successful move. It really is world-class, one of only 3 riders in the Elite League to average over 10 points per meeting, and he's inspiring Peterborough here in race 1. Spiderski misses out, as we say early on, with that crash down the back straight, but here comes the stylish style of Hans Anderson to take the checkered flag. Reading, though, no, they're still a couple of points up. 1 of 15 races have gone in this grand final second leg. Remember, Peterborough lead by 2 points. Sorry, Reading lead by 2 points from last Monday at the Smallheath Stadium. What a dramatic night that was, as Peterborough really bounced their way back into it with a tactical ride rule, and almost it felt for Peterborough as though they'd won on the night the way it was last Monday. But Reading do hold that 2-point lead. Hans Anderson the winner. Second place was Greg Hancock for Reading. Travis McGowan was third. Spiderski crashed down at that 3-all, and Peterborough have 50 now. Reading have 52. That is the aggregate score here.
Yeah, there was a little bit of movement at the start there. A couple of guys were just moving a touch, but Hans made a real good start. Watch that on the outside. Travis McGowan didn't make a real good start, but he did make a good first bend. And actually put Smirsky out a little bit. But once he got around there, I mean, Hans got around the inside and then took off because, like I keep saying, see, Hans was actually rolling forward just a touch as those takes went up, and he did make an absolute blinder. I mean, look how much he is in front of all the other guys.
Just look at that crowd in the background as well. You know, we were here for the World Cup a few years ago at Peterborough, and I reckon the crowd tonight is even bigger than it was for the World Cup. It really is a magnificent setting here tonight. The East of England Showground at Peterborough. British Speedway is alive and kicking. The interest is high, and Hans Andersen is delighted with his opening victory in heat number 3. Will he be beaten tonight? What a night. Just look at that crowd. There really is tremendous atmosphere. It's a great occasion. Speedway was first staged here in 1970 when Peterborough won the old Division 2 against Rayleigh. This is big time Speedway though, and this is Sophie.
Thank you, Nigel. Our hands. What a brilliant night it is here.
Yeah, it's tremendous. You know, I've never seen so many people around Peterborough before, so yeah, it's all down to the final, and it's the big one, and we're up for it.
Well, it was a good ride from you there. Obviously, a shame about your teammate.
Yeah, I'm fairly happy with the shared heat in the first one. They won the toss and had gate 1 and 3, which is normally the favourite one here, but I was determined to make the gate, and I made it, so more to come, hopefully.
All right, keep it up. Better flag. Back over to Chris now.
Thanks, Sophie. Yes, I think this meeting really does prove tonight with the attendance here that British Speedway still remains one of Britain's most popular family sports. There are people of all ages here enjoying the Speedway tonight. Reading fans, Peterborough fans of all ages. And, of course, in the 70s, British Speedway was right up there in the days of Peter Collins, Ivan Major, Barry Briggs, Ollie Olsen, big names. There is Mark Lemon of Reading with 1 or 2 last-minute adjustments. But when you look at this occasion, and we have the British Grand Prix at Cardiff in front of over 40,000 fans in the summer as well, British Speedway is very much alive and kicking. And tonight, this playoff is right on a knife edge. And remember, ultimately, the winners tonight take home with them the Elite League title. It's just brilliant.
Yeah, it is, and with it only being 2 points in it, it's made so much interest. Like you say, I mean, I can't remember a crowd like this really here at Peterborough since like the early in the mid-90s when you used to have the fours here and people came from all over the country for it. And it's a great crowd, and you just saw the traffic with everyone coming in, so a lot of support here for both teams.
Well, I remember a few years ago here when they staged the Premier League 4 Championship, and you enjoyed yourself on that afternoon a few times, Jono?
I always enjoy myself, mate. I never let a chance go by.
Richard Hall off the inside red for Peterborough. Gate 2 in green. Mark Lemon for Reading. Gate 3 blue. Ulrich Ostergaard for Peterborough. Sam Simota goes off the outside in yellow for the Reading Bulldogs. 3-all on the night. Reading lead 52-50 on aggregate. And it'd be interesting to see what tactics they employ tonight. Will they just try and keep it close throughout the night, knowing they've got that 2-point lead from last week? That man in yellow is Sam Simota. We just saw Ryan Sullivan taking a close watch on things as well. And here's Ulrich Ostergaard for Peterborough in blue with a key role to play down at reserve. That man in red, Richard Hall for the Peterborough Panthers. Trevor Swales, the team manager for Peterborough. We saw a lot of him in action last week. He'll be hoping for a much quieter night tonight, because if that is the case, it means Peterborough are in control. But Reading have made a good start here. Mark Lemon in the green helmet has made a good start, but the man in red coming through, Richard Hall. And now the Panthers bounce through with a 5-1. Ulrich Ostergaard comes through into second place. Third in green is Mark Lemon. Sam Simota's trailing into the back, and this would overhaul the 2-point deficit. But Mark Lemon is coming on again here, coming on strong up the inside. What a ride from Mark Lemon. Get out of the way. I'm coming through. Every point is crucial here.
Mark Lemon riding so good. I mean, he has every meeting he's done here doubling up for Reading. He's been really trying his heart out, and a great manoeuvre there to pass Ostergaard. But Richard Hall has been such a specialist around here, and a trump card for him at reserve. But Lemo seems to be catching up to him.
Well, this track is ideally suited to Richard Hall, no doubt about that. A young man who started his career with the Newcastle Diamonds in the Premier League, move on to the Sheffield Tigers. He remains a Sheffield asset. But I think it's fair to say that Richard Hall would welcome a move to stay with Peterborough in the Elite League next season as he comes round here and still a battle for second spot with Ostergaard coming round, but not enough there. And that will square it all up on aggregate. That'll do nicely as far as the Panthers are concerned. And Richard Hall, the rider in red, has taken the checkered flag, as he has done so many times in the reserve position here this season, particularly in race number 2. And look what it means to him as well. Richard Hall, who is a very, very experienced grass track rider as well, well, by the way, but developing very nicely into a top-notch Speedway rider as well with the Peterborough Panthers after serving his apprenticeship with the Sheffield Tigers in the Premier League, where he's been mixing with the likes of Andre Compton and Sean Wilson down the years. A good apprenticeship there. Richard Hall, the winner. Mark Levin was second. Ulrich Ostergaard was third. 4-2 to Peterborough. Levels it all up on aggregate. 54 points apiece after a couple of races here.
Yeah, Richard Hall up gate one. I mean, like I say, he has been riding very good around here. I mean, Lemo made a pretty good start as well, but watch here as it just slides away from him a little bit. He just sort of like slipped up a little bit and went out, and that's where he lost it to Richard Hall. Went out really, really wide there, and that's when Ostergaard did a really good turn to come up the inside of him. But, you know, Lemo then fought back and come up him. Good, really good pass there by Lemo. I didn't think he'd be able to come up the inside of him here, but early on, you know, there's not really that wide dirt line, so he was able to come up the inside, still able to do it early in the meeting like this. But, yeah, got to give it to Richard Hall. You were saying about him being a good grass track rider and being from Sheffield. This track suits him down to the ground.
Well, there is the smooth style of Richard Hall, and now let's head to the pits with Sophie.
Thank you very much, Richard. Showing that you've been outstanding at home lately. Just the kind of ride you wanted.
Yeah, it's really nice. I didn't make the best of starts, but I managed to get on the mat. I just kept my head down and went for the win.
And you've levelled the score early on.
Yeah, it's good. I'm just going to make a few changes, so I'm a bit faster in my next one. See how that goes.
How much do you want this tonight?
I want it loads, especially my first year. It's going really good.
All right, best of luck to you. Thank you. Back to Steve and Nigel.
Thank you, Sophie. Yes, seat number 3 is coming up here now, and I'll tell you what, Jono, a lot of people saying these 4 riders, Everson back from injury for Peterborough, Ryan Sullivan in blue, Yanis Kolodze and Charlie Gida for Reading. A lot of people are saying these 4 riders could provide the key to the way this meeting is going to go tonight.
I pretty much agree there. I mean, you've got, like I said, Ryan struggled on the track the way it was last time early on in the meeting and then came good at the end. And you've got the other guys that are really good quality riders, but they just need the consistency all the time. So if they're all firing, yes, all of them can win these races and beat each other, but it's who on the night is actually going to put it on when the pressure's on them.
I think one thing that has damaged Reading for sure is the absence of Matty Zagar. He was actually attracting the interest of the ambitious Peterborough owner Colin Horton during the winter. That man is Jonas Kolodze, who has what it takes, no doubt, to develop into a top-notch elite league rider. That man in red is Niels Christian Everson. Bear in mind here that Reading have been here twice already in the league and won on both occasions. So Reading still have hope that they can win the league here tonight. Everson back from injury. There he is, the man in red, Niels Christian Everson, who has ridden for Oxford, rode for the Newport Wasps in the Premier League as well under Tim Stone there at the Hayley Stadium. And also, of course, rode for the Oxford Silver Machine under their former management last season, but made the switch to Peterborough this year. Kolodze off the inside in green, Ryan Sullivan gate 2 blue, Charlie Gina gate 3 yellow, Niels Christian Everson off the outside in red. If you're new to Speedway and you're joining us for one of the first times tonight here on Sky Sports, the home side Peterborough are wearing the red and blue helmet colours, and the visitors here, the Reading Bulldogs, they are wearing the green and yellow helmet colours. 3 points for a win, 2 for second, 1 for third, and nothing at all for finishing last. This is a very important Heat 3. It's level and aggregate, and the Elite League title is on the line here at the East of England Showground tonight. Race number 3 is the fight tremor for the start, and Ronnie Allen, the referee, raises the tapes. The red lights are on, and Ronnie Allen has spotted something there which he's not happy with.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with him there, mate, because the way I saw it is Charlie Gleddy was just dragging forward a little bit, and then Ryan actually dumped the clutch for a second, just flicked his clutch and moved a touch, grabbed it back in, and then made a pretty good start. Watch him jump just a little bit there, see? He actually had to grab the clutch not to hit the tape, so Ronnie's made the right decision there.
There you go. That's another view of it. Ronnie Allen, one of the more experienced referees in British Speedway.
I mean, sometimes they can...
Here is Ronnie Allen. Anytime now, Ronnie will give us the verdict.
Unsatisfactory start, all 4 riders to the gate.
Ronnie Allen then, the referee, giving us the verdict. All 4 riders back to the restart. No major surprise there.
No, I mean, sometimes the referees, you know, it's their decision if it's an unsatisfactory start or not. And, you know, if a rider jumps like that and he doesn't get an advantage, they will let it go. But in that particular occasion, you know, Ryan did jump a little bit and then he made an absolute flyer. So it was the right thing to bring it back and make sure all the riders are sat still at the start.
So we prepare for heat number 3, second time of asking. It's fast and it's furious here. The East of England Showground, one of the quicker tracks in British Speedway, no question about that. It's 336 metres but there's wider bends and the straights aren't so long as some of the tracks, and almost you can, I presume when you race around here, Jono, you can keep the gas virtually full on for 4 laps.
Well, when it's prepared, sometimes you don't actually really have to turn the bike a lot like you do a lot of the smaller tracks. You can just, keeping your wheels in line is the quickest way around.
This is heat number 3, 7-5 on the night to Peterborough, level at 54 points apiece on aggregate. Green light comes on, and they're away this time, and it's a pretty level start here, but the man in green, Jonas Kolodze's made a good start here. Now coming round the outside, Niels Christian Everson. Kolodze holds the lead, though. These two Peterborough boys will be all over him, though. They know that they can try the inside and the outside line. Trailing at the back, Charlie Dieter. This would be a 3-all. This would maintain level pegging on aggregate, and to be fair to Jonas Kolodze, he's pulling clear. Got good pace down the back straight, and I suppose it's a similar racetrack to the ones that he's used to in Poland.
Yeah, definitely, mate. He's not scared. He's a little guy, but he's on the gas. He holds it on. And look at him. I mean, these two guys are, are so quick around here, Everson and Ryan Sullivan. And he, like you say, he's pulling away from him, and he's riding a really good line at the moment. He's not going too wide. He's cutting back. Watch him here on the inside, sort of almost clipping the curve coming out of the bend. He doesn't need to waste time going out that much further at the moment on the track because there's no advantage there.
Well, Jonas Kolodze, who's a discovery of the previous Reading management, Pat Bliss brought him over to the UK when they were known as the Reading Racers, and he went into the Elite League with the Bulldogs when BSI bought out Reading Speedway during the winter. And since then, not only are they back in the big time, but they are in contention for the Elite League title tonight. And Jonas Kolodze has just pulled off a magnificent victory for the Reading Bulldogs. And if it's going to be like this throughout the night, we could even go down to the very last race to decide the 2006 Elite League champions. That is a possibility at this stage. Jonas Kolodze, magnificent ride from him. He takes the checkered flag. Second was Niels Christian Everson for Peterborough. Third was Ryan Sullivan. A 3 apiece, 10-8 on the night. And on aggregate level, 57 points apiece here.
Kolodze made a good jump here, and then I was watching Everson. Everson was coming around the outside, and I sort of thought he might have the run to come all the way around the outside, but Kolodze had it lined up. He really rode the corner well. Watch Everson here, forward and around, and like normally, if there's a little more grip there or later in the meeting, you would almost have the run to come around him, coming down the back straight, but then even coming in this bend, I thought Everson will go wide, but Kolodze then went a little bit wider and cut back. He was really riding it. You couldn't have picked a better line for him to ride around the track there.
Well, of 3 races so far, 2 of them have been drawn, 3-all, and we've seen 1-4-2 in Heat 2, which has proved to be the difference on the night in favour of the Peterborough Panthers. It's level, 57 points apiece. Great ride from Jonas Kolodze. Let's get some reaction with Sophie.
Thank you, Nigel. Jonas, you're looking very fast out there.
Yeah, this is my first kid, and start is very important. I have now a good start, and this is all.
It's a track you like, isn't it? I know when you came here in March, you had a great night.
Yeah, I like this track because my meeting is very good in this track, but I think must be okay.
Well, you're doing very well here, and you kept it level, which is what the team need to do.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, best of luck to you. Thank you. Back up to Steve and Nigel.
Thank you, Sophie. Yes, this is the 5th year of Elite League Speedway, and Matty Zagar, Elite League Playoff Speedway, indeed, and Matty Zagar is out missing here for Reading with injury, and Greg Hancock, the number 1, the skipper, is deputising for him here under the rider replacement role. And again, if you are new to Speedway, let me just explain that under the rider replacement rule, every rider has 4 programmed rides. So Matty Zagar, who's not here tonight because he's injured, has got 4 programmed rides, and his colleagues basically can share those rides. Only once each, though. And Greg Hancock is taking his rider replacement ride, so effectively replace Matty Zagar with Greg Hancock here. Did I explain that simply enough?
Yeah, I think so, Monday was pretty straightforward to me, but...
well, I'm a simple bloke, that's why.
I know that, and I think most of the people out there know it as well, but this is where the team manager really has to make the right decisions to put the right rider replacement in the correct race. You could just say, oh, you're going to go here and you're going to go there, but through the night he has to watch who's riding good off the outside, who's riding good off the inside, and what gate those rider replacement rides have got, and choose who goes in them. So that's pretty important from the team manager in the pits. He could make it, really some good choices there.
Simulta inside, Ostergaard 2, Hancock 3. Outside red, Jesper B. Jensen, who, we can tell you, has just signed a full-time Peterborough contract in front of the crowd here, 20 minutes before start time. They brought him round in a luxurious sports car, and Jesper B. Jensen, the man in red on the outside, is now a fully fledged Peterborough Panthers rider. Look at the crowd here. They are really gripped by all this. And Greg Hancock making 1 or 2 preparations there, Jono.
Yeah, just looking down, hopefully there wasn't a problem with his bike. I think he was just adjusting something on it. He was off the side of the bike and playing around with it, which you don't normally do when you're up at the start, sort of trying to get ready for your race. So hopefully he hasn't got any problems there.
So that man in red off the outside, yes, to be Jensen, hoping to celebrate the good news for him and for Peterborough. But he is now a fully fledged asset after starting his career with Wolverhampton in 1997. This is heat number 4. Every point absolutely crucial. And the Bulldogs are away from the start. Reading have made a great start here with Hancock and Simota. And look at the Panthers now. Here comes Jesper Jensen. Will the Bulldogs try and team ride? Or will the man in green, Hancock, kick on here? He's looking over his shoulder, look. He's looking over his left shoulder. Watch him here. The man in green. He'll look over his left shoulder, try and shepherd home Sam Simota. At the moment, it's a 5-1, and this would give the Bulldogs a 4 points aggregate lead.
Yeah, I mean, Greg Hancock's one of the best team riders in the game, you know, and he definitely look back and try and help his riders. But when you know you've got Jesper B, who flies around here really having a go, you know, Greg sort of, he's looking back now, but the first couple of laps, he's just got to get on the gas and go away.
Hancock is slowing down, and the reason is he's trying to shepherd round his colleague Sam Simota. In we go to the last lap, and watch Hancock here. He'll take it easy mid-track. He'll go wide. He'll look over his shoulder again as he does. Sam Simota, though, is holding his own. He's kicking on, and he's pulling clear of Jensen. He doesn't need team riding, this young man, because he's just pulled off a 5-1, and the Reading Bulldogs have taken the lead here, and they're 4 points up on aggregate, and those who thought that all Peterborough had to do was turn up tonight and win the league title, forget it. We are going all the way here. The Bulldogs fans are celebrating in style. That was a ride that Greg Hancock produced, which is the type of ride which makes him the world #2 and the former world champion. And this playoff final tonight could go either way. Hancock and Simota for the Reading Bulldogs. Jensen was third. 5-1 to the visitors. Peterborough 11, Reading 13, but on aggregate, Peterborough 58, Reading 62. What a result for the Bulldogs here.
I mean, Greg Hancock doing a couple of little adjustments when he was at the start, but it obviously, whatever it was, I mean, he shot out unbelievably. He was like a rocket out of the start. He goes around and you see him look back there, look for his teammate. I mean, look at the guy. Like I said to you, he's one of the best team riders in the league. He's always looking out for his partners, so he can, you know, the less experienced guys, you'll look back again here, look at him, and he can ride anywhere on the track. We know that, so he then will sort of like ride to make Simota's job a little bit easier than the less experienced rider.
Fantastic stuff from the Reading Bulldogs. There is Greg Herbie Hancock. He's affectionately known also as Grin. Well, there'll be a big grin under the crash helmet there, no doubt about it. 5-1 to the Bulldogs. They're smiling. And here's Calvin and Jonathan. Fellas.
Yeah, and the grin is with us because the smile is right there on Greg Hancock's face. 5-1, just what you needed.
Yeah, exactly. I had a little trouble in the first heat there, something with the chain stretched and got really tight on the bike. So
Sure, yeah, I saw you, Louis, there just readjusting the rear chain.
Exactly. The rear chain snapped, pulled, and then pulled the primary chain tight, so everything just felt awful the first heat. But we got it now, so back to winning ways.
How are conditions out there?
It's pretty good. It's much more grippy than it was the last time we were here, you know, and it feels good right now, so just a few minor adjustments and just keep going.
Yeah, but after last week, it was vital that you kept tight early on tonight because you didn't want the Panthers to really steal a march on you.
No, that's right. I mean, and the other thing is, I mean, if you get a good run like they did to us last time, you know, we got too many points in front, and then they pulled off the doubles and pulled right back into the heat, and shoot, it's a new match, but that's all right, we'll go for it.
Yeah, you've got to be chuffed with Sam Simota there also, because he didn't score here last time, pointless in his opening ride, and he backed you up nicely there.
That's right. I had a little talk with him right before that heat, and, you know, hopefully I got some sort of confidence back in him, but must be something about this track he doesn't like, but we'll get it.
But he looked good then.
Yeah, it's working good now, so let's just keep it going.
Greg, what about these fans? You're really giving them something, and there's a lot have come from Reading, haven't they?
There's a lot. I know. I think there was 5 coaches or something that came tonight, and, you know, it's great support. Reading has been awesome all night, and, I mean, all year, and tonight it's even better, so, you know, what a great crowd, and just good for Speedway.
All right, well, listen, we'll let you get back to the pits and make any adjustments you might. Well done again. And we'll take a short break. Captain America is doing his job for the Bulldogs. It's all going down here in the final showdown at the showground. Join us after this break.